I am in the little town called Ein Kerem, Ein Kerem. It's a little town outside of Jerusalem. It's an hour and a half walk from there. I just came there, and I came kind of from that way, so maybe that's kind of starts to be the outskirts of Jerusalem. And I'll explain to you kind of what happened in this little village. And I'm going to kind of give a little tour of the holy sites around here. I'm not an expert, but this is just from my research. So when the angel Gabriel appeared to Mary and said she was to have the Savior Jesus, the angel also said that Mary's cousin Elizabeth was with child. And that child was St. John the Baptist. So Mary, I think she was in Nazareth at the time, left and went shortly after that to visit Elizabeth. And I think she stayed with her for 3 months, probably while she had John the Baptist. So this is where Mary came to and where she stayed visiting Elizabeth in Ein Karem. And a backstory about Elizabeth, I think Elizabeth and her husband, Zachariah, they were older in age. And again, this is all in the Bible. You can look it up for sure. And I think Zachariah was a priest in the temple. And an angel, I think, appeared to him when he was doing his priestly duties and said he was to have a son. And I think he didn't believe because they were older. And he went mute, like he couldn't talk until I think he said that John the Baptist was going to be his name. Maybe around the time he was born or maybe after he was born. So anyway, that's kind of the backstory behind this place, this beautiful place. It's like, look at the landscape. It's just gorgeous. So over there, that's the Church of the Nativity of St. John the Baptist. It's believed to be the spot where the steeple is, where he was born. And then there's a little spring, I'll explain it over there later. And then right here is the Church of the Visitation, where they believe that Mary came and met her cousin and stayed here. So this would have been like Elizabeth and Zachariah's house. So I kind of wondered why there seems to be 2 locations, because that seems to be their house too. And from the research I did, it seemed to say that they might have had 2 houses, like a summer house, which would have been like up on the hill, like in a winter house down there. That's kind of what I found out. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but I was wondering, like, why are there 2 specific locations that seem to be like their house? Anyway, so this is supposed to be the spot where Mary visited Elizabeth, and when they met, there's many famous paintings about that. It's called the Visitation. When they met, Elizabeth was like, "Blessed are you, who am I that the mother of my Lord would come and visit me? Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb." And Mary then said what's called the Magnificat. She said, like, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior." And you can read the rest of it in the Bible. She was like, "God has done great things for me, and I'm a lowly servant, and all generations will call me blessed." So that's kind of a summary of it. But that's called the Magnificat. And that encounter, they think, happened here. You can see the word Magnificat written on the ground here. And then when you walk in, there's the Magnificat prayer written in like many different languages on the wall here. So over here you'll see the Magnificat written in a number of different languages. There's English right there. So this is the church here. You go inside, there's like an altar, there's a well, which I'm not sure if it's like an ancient well, I don't really know. But then there's also like a rock, a boulder on the side. And from what I researched, it said that that was a boulder that Elizabeth used to hide the baby, John the Baptist, her baby, when he was a baby, because Herod wanted all the male children gone. So that's kind of like a tradition that Elizabeth hid him behind this rock to protect him. You know, when Jesus, Mary, and Joseph fled into Egypt to protect him, and Elizabeth hid John the Baptist behind a rock. So that rock is in here.
Ale też nie rodziły kobiety w domu, to jest też dowód nieprzyjęcia Maryi w gospodzie w Betlejem. Dlatego, że kobieta w połogu, kobieta rodząca powoduje nieczystość domu i tych, którzy przebywają, więc kiedy ludzie szykowali się na święto, nie chcieli być nieczystymi. Kobiety do dzisiaj w społecznościach beduińskich, kiedy rodzą dzieci, wychodzą z wioski, udają się gdzieś w miejsce odosobnione, zabierają ze sobą jakąś muzykę, krewną lub nie, w razie tego, żeby pomogły, gdyby się zdarzyły jakieś okoliczności nieprzewidywalne. I tak to się odbywa. Poród w domu nie do pomyślenia, poród tam, gdzie ludzie tego robią, to dlatego Maryja rodzi tam, gdzie zwierzęta,
So that's the church here. They're giving a tour inside. And I've noticed that it's interesting, different tour groups, they sing the Magnificat in their language. I've seen like 3 groups do that so far, which makes sense, but that's beautiful to see. And then up over here, they have like the Chapel of Zachariah. Oh, first here's like a little courtyard here. So it's called Zachariah's Chapel. And there's also like a visitation garden, I guess, here. And again, I don't really know the significance of this chapel here. Perhaps it's just like dedicated to him, like a chapel in his honor. So yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful spot, spiritually and physically. Like the location is gorgeous. So I think Mary would have probably stayed here. This would have been this place where she stayed while she was helping Elizabeth. So I'm gonna walk down now. I'm gonna grab this railing because sometimes walking down a hill you can slip. I'll show the view as I walk down to what's called the Virgin Spring or Mary Spring. And I only did like, again, just a tiny little bit of research before coming on what that was. It's listed as one of the holy sites here.
Bendito es el fruto de tu vientre, Jesús.
So the Virgin Spring is supposedly like a spring that Mary stopped at, maybe on her way to visit Elizabeth, and drank from some water. Anyways, Mary's supposed to have drinking from the water from the spring here. I also read too that it could have been the spring that she went to get water, like for, you know, Elizabeth and the household while she was here taking care of Elizabeth. There's many tour guides here. I was kind of like going to use my GPS to get from one church to the other. I was like, nope, don't need to use the GPS, just follow the crowds. I've noticed a lot of people huffing and puffing when they get to the top of this hill. I'll just look back and show you. Like it is a pretty big hill here for the tourists to go up.
El, împreună cu cei 70 de bărbați, trebuia să traducă fiecare câte o carte.
Oh, there's a wall there. I can't see the beautiful scenery anymore. That steeple, it's the place where John the Baptist was born. You see all the tour groups. Here's another one. So many.
Judith wodująca, Estera. So here is the location of the Virgin Spring. Wow, I'm surprised no one's here. When I was here before, there were a lot of people that were here. This is Mary's Spring. So yeah, blessed water that the mother of Jesus touched. And then it's kind of very close to the church of the Nativity of John the Baptist, right across the road up there. Here's another tour group. Sometimes the tour groups all wear the same color of hat, I've noticed, because it helps you to find each other. Oh, I wonder what they were looking at. There's some there's some instruments hanging from the trees. what I've noticed being here, it's got a quiet town feeling, which makes sense because coming from the hustle and bustle of Jerusalem, like I could just sense coming into a small town, you know, and even though it's this holy location, everyone's just going about their daily business with all these tourists around.
يمكن اذكى شخص في العالم ابونا عارف اثبت لكم هو سمى كل النباتات والحيوانات في العالم.
That's where I guess the stream of tourists are coming from. This is the way that I came from. Just cross the road over up here. Sorry if it's really bouncy with the camera. It's hard not to bounce when you're walking. And inside the church, they're doing construction now. So there's like a bunch of construction things all up around, but you can still get to the spot. They have a location marked on the ground where they mark as where John the Baptist was born. Okay, I better go to the actual right crosswalking spot here. There, that's gonna have a clear breakaway. There's a cat. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll see how I notice there's cats everywhere.
Amigo, mira, voy a agarrar una.
So here's the church. I'm guessing there's probably like a monastery. Maybe the Franciscans live there. The Franciscans help take care of a lot of the areas here in the Holy Land. Oh, and here is the prayer. I think it's the prayer, something to Zechariah. Oh yeah, what Zechariah said. Oh my heavens. So, oh my goodness, this is terrible, but I think that's what Zechariah said when his mouth was opened after he was able to talk again. I should know that. I don't know why it's just blanking on me right now. So again, people are saying that prayer there, which is beautiful. So I'll go inside the church, and again, there's construction. But I'll head down to where the spot. So probably restoring the church here. Oh my heavens, there's like a giant line, I think, over there. Oh no.
Możecie sobie spokojnie zdjęcie. Tutaj nie ma pośpiechu, nie ma wykonania. Ja będę czekał na zewnątrz. Spokojnie. Jak na wojnie. Tak, jest chłodno.
So I just wanted to give a little video to give a perspective. So this is the little chapel where they believe he was born, in that little kind of circle with the star around on the ground is marks the location where people are kind of honoring that spot. So yeah, that's a little tour of the village of Ein Kerem here and all the holy sites.